Hi, this is Western Wolf, and today I'm going to be showing you my favorite LEGO minifigures. For this list, this is only going to include official LEGO minifigures made by the LEGO company. No customs, no Brickmania, no third parties. This two, we're only going to include minifigures, strictly minifigures. No dinosaurs, no big figs. No buildable minifigures or anything like that. And number three, this is limited to my collection, so this is all just my opinion as well. There are other minifigures I wish I had that were excellent, but will not be included in this list. We have the LEGO Mad Scientist from the LEGO Monsters Wave of CMF series. This guy is very unique. He's my favorite out of the whole wave, in that like he has this head extension that has never been used at all in any other minifigure that I can name or any other sets. But this set, this surprised me. It is removable. It has his eyes and his hair here, as you can see. You can put on any minifigure you want. Here he has without the head. I think it looks cooler with it here, but he's a very unique look to him. And I also just love the lab coat and the splatter. At this time I couldn't find his flask, but it had like a purple liquid in it. Not actual liquid, but it had a fly on it. And I thought that was really cool. Alright, and for my number 9 pick, we have Spooky Girl from the CMF series number 12. Yeah, she is one of my favorites because I just love the spookier side of LEGO. And she has just a really cool and kind of cute design to her, where it's not overdone, but you can definitely recognize her apart from other minifigures as well. Yeah, I just love the printing on her and the hair choice as well. It just fits for her. There's this really cool, like a gothic, kind of like Wednesday Addams torso and skirt, with as well like the stockings, striped stockings. Yeah, and I really loved her accessory, this little teddy bear. There's been a lot of different teddy bears. This one is my favorite just because of the style of like the stripes, the gray mouth, and like the eyes, the button eye, and the yarn pulled out eye. But also like she does come with well, she doesn't come with, but there was another figure that came down the line. This one, the Spooky Boy, that kind of goes along with her. If I were to pick a favorite, I would say her, but he's really cool too. He has cool molding and printing as well. But I just liked her costume a little bit more because it's more old-fashioned and she had a better accessory. For number 8, we have Daphne Blake from Scooby-Doo. Now, usually I would have picked Shaggy because Shaggy's my favorite Scooby-Doo character. But honestly, I always felt that like LEGO gave Daphne a lot more care. Just look at this headpiece, her hairpiece. It's so detailed and it's unique. The color, the headband as well. I don't see this anywhere else. Her printing as well is really nice. You can see the color. This color purple is not used very often. They also did a good job with the lines on her skirt. And that line also carries along on her legs as well. Yeah, I always felt like she just kind of like stood out on the shelves. Just kind of like, you know, all the Scooby-Doo characters, you know, are pretty recognizable. But Daphne Blake is iconic in Scooby-Doo, and I felt like, you know, LEGO did the best job on her. Also, what's cool is that she does have another expression on her face. Jeepers! Which really works. For my number 7 pick, we have Deadshot. Now, Deadshot is one of my favorite DC characters, as I really do like the Suicide Squad comic books, not the 2016 movie. But he is one of my favorites, and I was very overjoyed when finally Lego made him. And they did a great job on him. Look at this printing on his arms. They added like his wrist guns and the bullet kind of bandoliers on his arms. It's very reminiscent of classic Deadshot when he first appeared in the Suicide Squad comics. I was glad that they went with this design, and he's very has like a silver kind of look to him. Instead of like opting to go for like a gray, they add like a silver shine to him, and it really works. Um, yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the set that he came in, but this minifigure was really cool. It also came with I can find her, Harley Quinn. This Harley Quinn as well. She's really cool too, but I personally just like this Deadshot because there's no other Deadshots around. If there was one thing I would complain about this figure, and it's not really a complaint, but something I wish they could have done better, was I wish they did add up like a molded helmet like they do with Iron Man. Kind of like in the DC Batman superheroes video game or the villains video game. He has like a helmet that kind of goes over his head, but I mean, this is fine enough as it is. And for my next pick, we have Stitch. Now, Stitch is one of my favorite Disney characters of all time. When I watched Lilo and Stitch, it was such an emotional movie, and Stitch was a character I just really loved. He was very fun to watch and hilarious. Oh, hi, I'm each family. And I was overjoyed when Lego decided to include him in the Disney CMF Series 1. And they did a good job with him at that. What I really love is this molded head. Like, it's so well detailed. Look at that. They added his ears, the little cuts on his ears too. He's got that cute smile, the big ears, the big nose and the big eyes. And they didn't cheap out on the detail too on his color as well. He has a stripe that goes down his back, a little tail. It goes on his ears too. Look at that. The torso also has a little fluff and gave him little toes. Now that's adorable. My next pick is Alice from Alice in Wonderland. This is a really good minifigure. I really love this minifigure. They have this was the first time Lego actually used the skirt piece, and it really worked well for her. This was not used before. It was also with Minnie Mouse, but specifically with the CMF series, it was the first time. And it works well for Alice, but also this hairpiece as well. Look at that. It's unique. It has a bow tie, a little two bumps on there. It works well for her, and she has that smile. The printing is spot on with kind of like those white draped over and the collar. She also comes with this bottle that she drinks that makes her grow big or shrink, and this crumpet as well. I really like this minifigure so much that I actually built a small little display mock for her. You can see here the checkered floor and mushroom, the little rabbit. I display her with this, so yeah, that's how much I like this minifigure. So while Stitch may be my favorite Disney character, my favorite Looney Tune though is Tasmanian Devil from the Looney Tunes CMF that came out 2021, yeah, last year. This minifigure is really cool. They did not skip out on accessories. I really like this base that he's on. You can like spin it on him. It doesn't spin well in my hand, but he also comes with this pie, custard pie, I think he throws at someone. I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched Looney Tunes. And the chicken wing that he devours. But really, what makes this minifigure so special is that Lego went the extra mile to really just like give us this really detailed like molded head. I can't get it off. Let me just like Come on. There we go. Boop. There we go. Look at this. Look at that smile. The eyes expression. It really works well. We have Buzz Lightyear from the Disney CMF Series 1. And you might be thinking, what? This Buzz Lightyear? He doesn't have the molded head. Well, hear me out. This minifigure, I feel like, does things better than the original 2010 Buzz Lightyear. He has better printing, dual molded printing on his legs, and also on his arms. And this is my unpopular opinion, but I personally actually like this Lego head more than the molded head. I know, what? Controversial opinion here, hot take, but hear me out. Here we have the 2010 Buzz Lightyear. As you can see, my first point, he doesn't have the printing on the leg on the side or on the arms. But also this head, like, on its own, it looks fine on its own, but if you were to compare it to another minifigure, say my Sig Fig, these look like very different toys. Like, if I didn't know any better, I would almost label this like Mega Bloks or something. I know. It doesn't mesh well with the other minifigures. Maybe you might be arguing that you wouldn't be comparing Toy Story minifigures with regular minifigures because they don't make sense to be in the same scale, but personally, this one has always been my favorite. And for my number 2 pick, we have Captain America Falcon from the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show, which was in, this minifigure was in the Marvel CMF Disney Plus series. This is a really cool minifigure. I wasn't a huge fan of the show, but I really loved that Sam Wilson became Captain America, and I loved his suit. You can see all the details on his leg. Look at that, the shapes and everything. Look at all that. His arms as well. Shield as well. I really like how they did the wings too. The wings have detail as well, printed on it, and you can fold them too. I wasn't a huge fan of the brick-built wings before that. They were too bulky, and the one just singular piece before that, but this is an outstanding minifigure. He also has an exclusive hair piece as well. And yeah, he's one of my favorites. And so for my number 1 favorite minifigure of all time would be my Sig Fig, inspired by Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. Just kidding. My favorite minifigure of all time would be Boba Fett, from this one being from Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, Boba Fett's always been one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time. Even when I was starting to collect Lego, when I was a kid back in the early 2000s, he was always one of my favorites. Even though he didn't do much in the original trilogy, he just looked cool. This minifigure is great though, and I do have the recent one from Mandalorian with the black under armor, which is cool. He has the printing on the arms, but I always just like the classic Boba Fett. Yeah, the printing on him is amazing. Just look at this armor, Mandalorian armor, and a little braid on the side, Wookiee braid. His knee pads too. He comes with the jetpack and the cape as well. And this helmet was like revolutionary for a time when it came out, because they were using for the longest time this old helmet, which was okay, but very outdated, and you can't turn his head. Looks nothing like Boba Fett. But this one, yeah, you can turn his head. It comes with a visor too, you can always put down here for when he uses his rocket. He does have the angry clone face, which I'm not a fan of, but you could always make that a quick fix by using recent Mandalorian helmet, well, unhelmeted head. You could always switch this. It would look just fine. But yeah, this looks exactly like what Boba Fett would look like. in Star Wars as a minifigure. I do wish I had the one with arm printing, but that one's a very rare set, from a rare set. And yeah, this Boba Fett has always been very nostalgic to me, growing up with Star Wars and him appearing in Lego sets. And yeah, I'm a big fan. He's my favorite. And those were my top 10 favorite minifigures of all time. Let me know in the comments below what your favorites are.